Pathway number 6, community, which I think is one of our favorite.
Maybe the most important pathway.
Yeah, this is one of our favorites. And we want to speak to 2 aspects of why community is so helpful. And I want to introduce the neurobiological underpinnings of why community is helpful. And Luke is going to shift a little bit more into one of our traditions that we deeply appreciate as a teaching point. So the neurobiology of community is based on the importance of what we call mirror neurons. I don't know if you've ever been watching a football game or a sports game and the person, slams a dunk or scores a touchdown and everybody loses it as if they had did it, as if they had done the same thing. That is a deeply human wiring, which is called mirror neurons. Or you walk into the room and someone that you love is feeling down, you can feel that inside yourself. And so we are literally wired to use the mirror neurons in our brain for compassion, for connecting with one another's, for shifting out of isolation. So human beings are inherently social beings. And anytime we're feeling down, if we can connect with another person, we can use their nervous system to support ourselves. That is why it is so important for those of us that are facilitators to practice our own self-compassion so that we can become the drum that everybody resonates with. We call that entrainment or limbic resonance. So these are all concepts that this interests you. You can look up mirror neurons, limbic resonance, or entrainment. So community is actually the rhythm of the drum of the heart that brings us back to center. So that is the kind of neurobiological buy-in for why community is so helpful.
And in the Buddhist tradition, it is said that there are 3 required factors if one is to achieve awakening or enlightenment. And one is the Buddha, which is, you could say, there's like the Buddha, but in this context, the Buddha speaks to your potential to become a Buddha, to become enlightened, in which every single person alive has. Every sentient being has the potential in them to awaken. The second is they call it the Dharma, or the teachings. So this is about taking refuge in the teachings of the elders or the plant medicines themselves. And so your Dharma is your path. It is your path towards awakening, which you navigate through both study and experiencing truths about your existence and the nature of your suffering and the nature of your own individual path. And the third one, which speaks to community, they call the Sangha. This, in a traditional setting, they would refer to the community of the monks and the nuns as the Sangha, but really the Sangha is your community, it's your people, and it serves as a support network in one aspect for individuals on their spiritual journey. It's an opportunity to receive reflection and accountability. And so the Buddhists would take refuge in the Sangha, seeking guidance, companionship, and encouragement from the community. So after an experience like the one you may have had with plant medicines that can unravel the ego and soften that personality structure, like Alexa was saying, the nervous system longs for this co-regulation, and not just with anybody, but with the others who understand this ineffable aspect of life and growing, and who can honor that part of you that is still emerging. And as social beings, our sense of self is entirely relational, and so this is why community is so very important.
And the Aboriginal culture, or many indigenous cultures, basically every culture that is indigenous other than us modern Westerners, has a rite of passage. I know for me, my greatest rite of passage as a woman that was raised in the United States was getting a driver's license, which isn't necessarily a practice of removing myself from daily life, going through an experience that makes me shed all the layers of who I thought I was and puts me in the right place to call in the vision of who I am to become. The last step of the rite of passage after removing yourself from daily life, which for you is preparing for ceremony, going to retreat, having the encounter, which is either a vision quest or a fast or a rite of passage like a plant medicine ceremony, it is the return. And in every single culture, there is a recognition that this person is in between realms. We call that the liminal space. It's not yet knowing where we're going to, but knowing that we've left a familiar realm. And so it's the idea of when we let go of who we are, we also need to be in community spaces that understand the technology of the rite of passage. And I think that's why so many people are coming to plant medicines in the modern culture, is because we want to find out who we truly are, who we truly are beyond everything we've been told. And sometimes we get that. And that's where integration comes in, because sometimes we find out who we truly are and we need to figure out how to bring all those parts back together. So community is a beautiful balm for that belonging in the unknown.
Yeah. Community, it also gives us the opportunity to focus our attention on something other than ourselves, right? Because when we only focus on ourselves, that's where we develop anxiety and selfishness and other kinds of neuroses, right? So practice reaching out, practice reaching out and showing up, getting back in touch with people you may have lost touch with, and making even a small effort to connect with your community, with the people that you live with, or even the people that live far away that you just need to make a phone call to. It could be organizing your own gatherings where you can meet other people who are on the path. But again, this is about also co-regulating with others, going to quiet spaces like yoga or meditation classes or sound baths or conscious dance events, being with people. This is the point. Because not only do we get to co-regulate with others, but the community can bring awareness to our blind spots. We all have blind spots. Like Alexa can see mine very well, and I can see hers sometimes. But we can't see them on our own. That's why we need the others to lovingly point these things out to us so that we can continue to grow and grow together. Because we can't do it alone. We can't grow in isolation. We need each other. So this is the importance of community.
Many of us are used to running our lives off of dopamine. When we come back from a retreat, we may notice that, wow, my motivation for work is really low. The first thing I share with people is that will change. It's okay. It's just because serotonin is high. A beautiful way of curating more grace in this experience is also activating two other chemicals in the brain. Oxytocin, which they call the hug drug or the bonding hormone for mainly women and men, but also vasopressin, which is also kind of essentially a bonding hormone for men. When we focus on bonding, we're increasing serotonin, and even if the dopamine is low, we're valuing connection over performance, and that can be a really nice way of transitioning out. So if you do arrive back to work and you're feeling like your motivation is low, focus on connecting with people in the workplace, and that will give you a little bit of a buffer.
The last thing I would like to say about community is that community gives us an opportunity to become an inspiration to others, although you might not believe it at first. You might be new on the path and don't feel like you have a lot to offer, but you do. Just the fact that you've taken the first step means that you're one step farther than somebody else, and you may not feel like you have great wisdom to share, but you have experience, you have a story to share, you have something to inspire somebody with. And so you, in this way, have your own medicine to share with someone. And so share it, get it out there, meet people, and share your story, because this will inspire others, because it's easy to get stuck, especially when we're alone. So that is the importance of connecting with others and building your community, creating community if you don't feel like you have it, and being that light on someone else's path.
So thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Let's review. So the 6 pathways to psychedelic integration are the art of stillness, a daily practice, wellness and self-care, connection to nature, felt sense exploration, and community. You'll see on the final slide that we offer you a few journal prompts. So if there was one that particularly excited you, please engage the journal prompts, remembering that these pathways don't need to all be activated at once. They're different companions that you walk with in the path of life. So if there was one or two that really spoke out to you, please start with what already gives you benefit. And when you start to get the spokes of the wheel going and you start to build momentum, you may bring in something that feels a little bit more challenging or in the growth zone. But we definitely operate on what's working now. What feels good now? Orient yourself towards allowing the benefit to be received, and then shift into something that feels a little bit of a growth zone. And so thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Wishing you many blessings. We hope this serves you all well, and we'll see you soon.